What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson was one of multiple players who talked with the media today. And so Anthony Richardson had a lot to say about different things, specifically talking about the quarterback battle that he is going to have this year with quarterback Daniel Jones, who the Colts brought in this offseason. So wanted to react to this video. Shout out to Locked On Colts, Jake Arthur here for getting this video here. So let's react to this, guys. Let's listen to what Richardson has to say about that, and then I'll give some of my thoughts at the end here.
A lot has changed since we saw you last, but you knew they were going to make a move there. Just what has been your attitude coming in the building this week?
Man, just get better, honestly. Every single day, just work, no matter what's thrown in front of me. Every opportunity I got to just better myself and help the team out in any way, that's what I'm looking forward to do.
Andy, what your interaction has been like so far with Daniel Jones, and how your relationship will be with your teammates, but you're also competing with Daniel Jones?
No, it's cool. We have a couple conversations so far, but I'm looking forward to learning a lot from him. He's been in the league for a good little minute, had ups and downs throughout his career. So I'm looking to learn as much as I can from him while we just, push this competition and just get better.
What is it meant to you to have an off season where you can just focus on throwing and not worry about rehab?
It honestly felt great, just getting back into like a smooth rhythm, getting back into, just training the right way and just making sure my arm and everything was good, making sure I was running and everything. So it was a fun off season for me, putting that work in.
Do you feel like you've made significant strides?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm still working to do that, trying to be consistent and keep building on what I worked on this off season. When it comes to like footwork stuff and not panicking, in the pocket and just being, comfortable and just letting my arm work.
Yeah, that's interesting because that was kind of one of the biggest things when it came to accuracy for Anthony Richardson was sometimes that footwork would get sloppy, right? He would kind of revert back to some stuff he did, college and stuff like that. So definitely interesting their comments from AR in regards to that. So let's continue on.
You could look back on where you've had to compete to get on the field, and how did you feel like that played out for you?
Man, a lot of times. I think back to high school. I kind of had a battle to get my starting job in high school. Even in college, competing with Emory Jones my sophomore year, trying to get that spot. It was an ongoing battle throughout the whole year. But, competition, that brings the best out of you. And, that's just how life works. You got to compete and just get better, because somebody else to the right, left, or even in front of you, trying to outwork you and be better than you. So competition, I love it.
Can you tell us about the work you did during the offseason, how that went, what you did?
Main thing, making sure my body was healthy. That was the biggest thing for me. But also like footwork stuff. Being able to just stay calm in the pocket. That was really one of the main things I wanted to focus on because everybody knows I can throw the ball whenever I'm smooth. But I want to find like opportunities for myself to be consistent when I am off balance. Make decent throws, and even when everything is perfect, making sure my feet are intact and my wood, my base is solid, and I'm just completing the pass.
When you went back and looked at when you went back
and last year coming off the surgery?
It's definitely different. I was thinking about it like last offseason, just trying to get back. I was just trying to make sure my arm was just able to just go so I can just get the ball out. But this year, we were working more like mechanic stuff, kind of like not necessarily like redefining my mechanics, but tweaking it a little bit and make sure everything was smooth.
Yeah, Shane is.
That's something that's interesting too, that we've talked about a little bit. Like this is honestly the first outside of his rookie season, but again, that was shortened because of the draft. Like this is the first time in his professional career that Anthony Richardson has actually been able to have a full off season where he hasn't had to rehab, right? So like you said, he's able to focus in on more the mechanical side of things, not just getting back to an actual throwing motion, but actually able to refine from what he had last year. And so I think that's big. And that's something that I'm really interested to see, how much of a stride does he take here with that opportunity here to not have to have rehab coming off of obviously what happened last year, last offseason, coming off of his rookie season. So that is definitely something that I'm interested in for sure.
It's consistently said, like, the guy who's the most consistent is going to win. I'm sure he told you that. How do you get from where you have been to being more consistent? Because I think, right, this is about not having the ups and downs.
Right.
What's keeping you from being that guy, I guess?
Now, honestly, I think it's the mindset, and just knowing like every single day is a day for progress. Even if things aren't, going the best way, each and every day, it's still opportunity for me to grow and get better and just be consistent in any little thing, So I'm looking forward to just finding every little detail I can work on, every single day, and just continue to work towards it, even if I do have a bad day. Still a chance for me to grow.
Do you think the technique is a big part of that too? The footwork is a big part of that.
Yeah, no doubt. As a quarterback, people of course have live arms, and they can spin the ball, but it starts from the ground up. The foundation, and if your footwork and your base is solid, then the rest take care of itself.
What did a typical day look like for you this offseason in terms of your training?
Get some breakfast in, of course. Get the body fueled up. We would switch it up some days, but normally just throwing, sprinting, lift, a little bit of mental stuff. Going through the playbook and all that good stuff. So kind of like a base, like off OTA day here, but just down in Florida.
Just to make sure, I know last time we saw you had the back issue. You're past that, and that's something that could linger. Or how are you, I guess, feeling?
Nah, I'm definitely feeling good. I was able to do a lot of training. A lot of great work was done in Florida. But I'm just trying to stay on my maintenance plan. Before I didn't really have a plan to take care of my back because I didn't really even know about it. But now I have things to stay on top of that and just prevent simple and minor injuries like that.
So it's like an ongoing thing that you're doing to just be like preventative measures?
Yeah, just preventative stuff. It's not like it's still lingering or anything. Of course, time to time you lifting and stuff, you feel a little tightness, but it's just life that comes with it.
You mentioned a couple of times, being calm in the pocket. Is that just kind of like when you realize where to throw it, not getting excited, kind of like being in rhythm? Is that what you mean?
Really a little bit of everything, for one, just being confident in the play, and making sure I know it and I'm being, smart enough when I am making decisions out there. And then just knowing what to do and knowing where to go with the ball, all that, plays a part in it. And just like I said, just being calm, all of that ties into it and just completing the ball. That's really the main thing. And if I am calm enough with my footwork, I can make it happen.
Did you get to work out with anybody down in Florida? Did any of the receivers come out, tight ends, any of that?
I was trying to get the guys out there, but we really like to get the work done before training camp. Really take a deep dive into the whole offensive playbook and just get it going.
You did work out with Josh Allen this offseason, right?
Not true.
No.
Not true.
How motivated or disappointed are you that going into your third year that you're not the clear, cold starting quarterback?
Man, it's different. Everybody can look at the situation differently. I would just like to say I'm blessed. Honestly, I still have an opportunity to be in the NFL. Still have an opportunity to go out there and compete and win the job for the team. So I'm just blessed. I'm excited to just continue to work. And, it kind of feels like I just got drafted again. I'm just excited to still be here. Like I said, I'm blessed, man.
Shane and Chris have not hidden that they felt like preparation focus was not on point for you last year. Is that a fair criticism? And do you take that personal when they go to work ethic and stuff like that?
I definitely don't take it personal. If they see something that I need to improve on, I got to take it on the chin and just go ahead and improve on that aspect. And that's just with anything I do. Even if I am scoring touchdowns or whatever, maybe I could have, did something a little better on that play to, make the outcome a little easier. So I definitely don't take it personal. I definitely, love working. I love getting better. So whenever there's an opportunity for me to, go and chase that, why not do it?
Is it motivating then to show that you are that guy?
Yeah, no doubt. Not necessarily motivating, but it's exciting. Of course, embarking on a new journey and just growing as a person, as a player, and just getting better. That's just amazing.
In the end of last year, I think you mentioned that you put on weight or whatever. Have you changed at all, cutting weight going into this year or not?
To be honest, I haven't necessarily put on weight or lost any weight. Honestly, my weight been pretty much the same since I got drafted. Of course, I've bulked up a little bit or leaned up a little bit, depending on however somebody sees it. But my weight's been probably the same.
Last one you can learn from Daniel Jones. He was a high draft pick, has some ups and downs, and looking for redemption here. So I guess how do you learn from him?
Honestly, the main thing I want to learn from him is how to navigate. How to navigate. The pressure of everything. How to navigate. When things aren't going the best, how do you stay with it and stay focused and just keep grinding. And also just how to work. I think he's a smart guy, so I'm looking forward to just learning everything that he has to offer and just getting better as a team.
Is this the biggest year of your career so far?
Every year has been a big year for me, so I'm excited.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. Well, so that was Anthony Richardson here giving some of his thoughts on just everything. The battle with Daniel Jones, what he's improved on this offseason. Interesting enough, actually didn't work with Josh Allen. So whoever had that report, NFL Network, I mean, come on, man, be better. So that was not a true thing there. But yeah, guys, overall, I mean, definitely great to see AR in a good mindset here when it comes to this quarterback battle. I like that he didn't take things personally, when they called him out last year, and he knows he just has to be better. And so, yeah, we'll have to see, guys, but definitely some interesting comments there from Anthony Richardson. Looks like he definitely did a lot this offseason. Hopefully it does translate to him being a better quarterback in 2025. But guys, that'll do it for this one. Again, shout out to Jake Arthur here for having this video ahead of time here so I can react to this. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, all that good stuff. Only a couple days away from the NFL draft, so you guys definitely want to be a part of what we're doing over here. But again, guys, that'll do it for this one. Thanks so much. And as always, go Colts.